What's up, guys? Slide up 503 here with the usual suspects. See, that way. There we go.
Hey, Gary B, the casual comic guy. Keep it casual.
John Lennon. Oh, no, sorry. Jimmy Don Kerr, if you know me, and everybody on here pretty well knows me now, so you can call me Jimmy Don. Or JD. I get that too a lot. So call me whatever you want as long as you call me. So
All right. So we got, this looks like we got a lot of people. We got Comic Hunter, Comic Vet, Super Jesse, DJ Lynx. Never could figure it out in Super Jesse. I'm glad you joined us tonight. Where were you guys last
Right?
time? Jeez.
we waited on you guys all night
Right?
on my channel. And I was like, where's Jason and Jesse? Where are they at? And
Just waiting on a little spousal support, and it just never came.
you know,
Right. So tonight, guys, we're going to go ahead and do our opinions and reviews on Wonder Woman 1984. Just a heads up, if anybody in here has not seen the movie, this is going to contain some spoilers. So, like I said, just a heads up. I should have probably put that in the title, but I fail. You know, I don't have the editing skills or the preparation skills of Jimmy or DJ Lynx or any of these other guys. So, yeah, that's my fault. So, spoiler alert. Rob's Fat Stacks, what's up? Yeah, I never could figure out you guys were lost in the cosmos. And then T. Ravis. There's another one of your Kentucky boys there, Jimmy.
that's right. We won't talk about the basketball team right now, though. It is a sad state of affairs in the bluegrass right now. But I still represent always.
You have
Doesn't
to,
matter.
right?
DJ
Yep.
Lynx had a pretty good box earlier with his
Dude, that was a nice box.
He was.
Yeah, that was a nice box.
Speaking of boxes, Jimmy's got a box going live soon. It's what, 55 shipped or 60?
I'm going to do 55 shipped, guaranteed value. It'll be your box will value somewhere between $65 and $75, but it'll cost you $55 to get it shipped. And yeah, so January 1st it'll go live. Gary B and Slot already knew I was going to do it, so they went ahead and bought one. I sent it out to them, and I think Slot, you opened yours up on Rob's live stream, didn't you, on Christmas Eve?
Yep.
And then Gary B dropped his video today. So
Yeah, please check it out. It was a great box.
Absolutely. Also, Rob's Fat Stack of Comics. He's got a box. He's got two levels. I'm probably wrong. I know one for sure is 115.
65 and 115.
Yeah, 65. I'm pretty sure both come with a slab and 10 books. So you guys check him out on Instagram. Also, Old Man Collectibles. He's got a box. He probably
his box looks nice.
His boxes look great. The only problem with his box is he probably picked the worst time to drop it right after Christmas. Everyone just got done spending a ton of money. But I'm going to pick one up. DJ Lynx has already grabbed one. I think Taylor Winders grabbed one. So everybody check out Old Man Collectibles box and Rob's Fat Stacks box and Jimmy's box. So
yeah, and Comic Vet, there isn't a GP. It's just a straight mystery box run. You can pretty much buy one as of January 1. If you want a mystery box, you can just pretty much buy one. I'll have them around. I'm going to be your next box T-Rose, except better. Right? I mean, we think big. So, it's just a mystery box. It'll be available. There's actually some listed on my eBay store right now, too. Rob actually bought a $50 and a $25 today. Rob did. So, get those shipped out to him tomorrow.
All right. So, again, spoilers. If you guys haven't seen Wonder Woman 1984 yet and don't want to be, shocked or spoiled, please put on the earmuffs. So, I've broken it down to 7 categories. We're going to break this movie down to. I got acting and characters. I got the story. DJ Lynx's favorite category, I'm sure, editing. Then we got the soundtrack, action scenes, the overall likability. Was it just fun to watch? And then our verdicts. So, Dave's Dungeon, what's up, buddy? So, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and start with John Lennon. We're going to give him the floor. We're going to go with category number 1, acting and characters.
So acting and characters, Gal Gadot, I can't talk. Gal Gadot or Gadot, however you want to say it, is perfectly cast as Wonder Woman. I think we will all agree on that. She's one of the most beautiful women in the world, if not the most beautiful, and she's Wonder Woman. I mean, like when you look at her, she is Wonder Woman. So I think as far as she goes, perfectly cast. Chris Pine, I thought was great. With what he had to work with, like his role was that of basically somebody who, died in the 30s, 40s, whatever, during the war, comes back in the 80s and all these things are new. So it was kind of quirky, with him and kind of cheesy at times. But, Pine's a good actor. I always like watching him and stuff. So I thought he was fine. The guy, what's his name, does the Mandalorian, that was Max Lord.
Pascal.
I just like him. And I thought he did a great job as Max Lord, playing that character from start to finish. And then, Cheetah, Barbara, I can't talk tonight, boys. Barbara, I thought she was fine too. I thought the acting overall was good. I mean, they probably could have developed some of the side characters and maybe the villains a little bit more. But, overall, I thought the acting was solid and the people who were playing the roles were solid.
All right. There you go. Gary B., we'll go ahead and move to you. We'll move down the Beatles chain until we get over here to Ringo.
Well, I'm Shemp. I should be last. All right. Anyway, I'm the unspoken of fifth Beatle. Anyway, acting across the board, I thought was solid. Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman. And I was talking to you guys earlier about how we've been fortunate to have 2 different generations of 2 different women playing Wonder Woman to perfection for each of their generation. First with Linda Carter, who is also good as Etheria in the movie in her 2 little cameos. And Gal just knocks it out of the park. She has the presence of Wonder Woman. She has the heart of Wonder Woman. And obviously she has the beauty of an Amazon. So, 100% all the way. Chris Pine is great. And I think people sleep on the subtleties of what a good actor he is. He didn't have an easy position. He had to play the serious part of Steve Trevor. He also had to play the fish out of water role reversal this movie. He really sold being wowed by everything in the 80s, which I thought he sold it perfectly and just being amazed at everything. Pedro Pascal played a very human, very flawed character who at his core just wanted people to like him because he never had that. And just wanted to be successful. And that drive to have what he never had created the flaw in him, but he played it perfectly. Kristen Wiig, I thought, had a good art. She was fine. I thought probably her writing was kind of the weakest, but that doesn't affect her as an actress. She played the lines that she had really well, I thought. And her transformation was great. The bit players I thought were good. Everyone that was in the background from all the people that Pedro Pascal had wishes with, I thought all those bit players were great character actors and really added to their parts and helped solidify what was going on and probably elevated it a little bit more than the script was at.
All right. So as far as the acting, like you guys said, like Gal Gadot or whatever her name is, however you pronounce it, she is Wonder Woman. She just like I can't even think. Yeah, just like Linda Carter was Wonder Woman. I mean, she is the role of Wonder Woman, just like also like what's his face, the Tony Stark.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else that would play that role. Just like I can't think of anyone else that could play Wonder Woman. The Pascal guy, I think he's very underrated actor. I think he killed that role. Like as a father, with the son, I get it. He wanted his son to, see that his dad was successful. You felt for the guy. The Cheetah chick, I thought, like you said, the role of, at first she was kind of klutzy. I liked all the little hints that she was going to become Cheetah too. They threw in there with the leopard print shoes,
the in the background. The stuff.
Yeah, the leopard skin in the background, and then even what's his face putting on that leopard skin shirt. Yeah, she went the role transformation where she went from just regular Barbara to Cheetah was fantastic. So I mean, acting and the characters in it, I honestly thought that Gal Gadot was the weakest link out of all of it. She is the role, but I mean, man, from the first movie, how badass she was in that movie, just like honestly, like the Justice League movie, as much of a dumpster fire to that movie, I thought was. I mean, it was still watchable, but she was a badass in that movie. In this movie, she wasn't a badass. She was.
Well, she was losing her powers. That's why. Which made her more
I get that, but I mean,
still being a hero despite the loss of powers.
She donned that badass wing gold suit. Like, I thought that was awesome. And you can't say she wasn't badass because she took the lasso of truth and swung across the lightning. Like, that was so crazy. I was like, wow, that was awesome.
I was expecting, I mean, she rivals Superman, for God's sakes. And when, like, she was, like, coming at Maxwell Lord and the wind was blowing her back, I was thinking to myself, really? I mean, Wonder Woman will walk up and just snatch that dude up. You know what I mean? It just, to me, she wasn't the badass that I needed her to be for that movie, I don't think.
Well, that part was the writing. That was supposed to show her heart conquering over physical strength, always winning the day. Because there's more to a hero than the physical strength.
That's true. She's got a great heart. But like I said, I just felt like, you know, the other actors in the movie, I thought overshadowed her character and her acting in that movie.
All right. You need to go put your Ringo shirt on right now.
I know, right?
Tell him, Gary.
Or my rig shirt, because now I feel like Taylor is being like, yeah, I didn't like it.
Taylor just hit another prize, I think, on that Spider-Man booth, by the way.
Damn it, Taylor. Good job, buddy. He can't wear rig anymore, can he?
No, we're donning that one.
All right.
So
the next category is the story. We'll go ahead and go right back to you there, Jimmy.
The story for me, I thought overall, I mean, because it's hard not to compare it to the first one, and the story in the first one was so good that this one, I mean, it was fine. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It was fine. The overall story was fine. Her, like Gary said, finding herself, the different part of being a hero because she was losing her powers, and you know how they kind of set it up that the truth, you know, that's her thing, truth, and you know that's how she basically set Max Lord free at the end, was by talking to him about truth. So the story, there was a lot going on, like there was a lot of moving pieces. Whereas the first movie, it was just straight up her origin story and her finding her way to win the war. And so it was very streamlined as far as the story is concerned. You had several different things kind of happening here. So story-wise, it was fine. You know, like I said, it held my attention. I thought the movie started slow. I thought it was kind of slow to begin and then picked up. But overall, it was, you know, I'll give it a B minus, you know, as far as story goes.
All right. Magic Lasso, what's up? So, Gary B., what do you think about the story?
Well, I like the story. I will agree it was probably the weakest part, but I think it was also the most misunderstood part of the movie. Everyone's so fascinated about the magic rock and putting the magic rock down, even though in every Superman movie, a magic rock makes him weak. Or there's, you know, it's part of a DC mythology, that kind of stuff. I didn't have any issues with the magic rock. I thought it was a clever way to bring Steve back. I thought it fit. The parts of the story that I thought were weak was Steve comes back, but he's in the body of another guy, and they never explain what happens to that other guy while he's in this dude's body. The guy's just nowhere, right? Is he in limbo? Where's this dude at? That part was weak to me. The part that was strong, and I'm going to give this part an A+, is Diana's journey. All the criticism I've seen about this movie has been about the villains. This movie, from when I started watching it, was never about the villains. This it sets it up right from the opening scenes. When you're going through Diana's apartment, it's telling you in every shot of Diana's apartment before they even show you Diana that she's stuck in the past. She hasn't moved forward. Mentally, she hasn't moved past that time. So she's still a hero at heart. She's still kind, but her heart and her mind have never moved on from that first encounter when she first became Wonder Woman back then. And this whole movie was about her being able to let go of her past and move forward and embrace where she's going, which she hadn't done yet. She was kind of in stasis. And that's the part of the story I haven't seen anyone address, and it just felt like it was really missed by most people to me. Because everyone was so focused, oh, I want to see Cheetah be badass. I want to see Maxwell Lord. And I can agree that you can want that, but I don't think that was the focus of the movie. And I think part of the problem with that is the marketing was wrong for that. They marketed Maxwell Lord and they marketed Cheetah. They didn't market it as a journey film for Diana. And this was really a journey film for Diana. I think on the journey, it delivered. She was a different hero at the end than she was in the beginning. Like I said, everything in her apartment, everything was a snapshot of where she was mentally. She was not in the present. And this movie took her from there. She learned a lesson she had to learn. She had to lose her love a second time, but she had to lose it to be the Wonder Woman for the world, because the world needed her more than she needed to have the love of her life. And she was finally able to let go and move on. And that's where I thought the story succeeded. The other elements weren't as strong. That's true, and I'll agree on that. But the one element that was strong really made this a good movie for me.
Okay. Actually, as far as story and stuff, like you mentioned, I never really thought about where was the guy that Steve was in his body. What happened to that poor guy? That's a very valid point.
He was just there at the end, all happy again.
I know, right?
He should have been like, hey, you look familiar.
Yeah, that was a very good point. This is, Taylor Winter, congratulations, buddy. Rigged. #rigged.
#rigged. Absolutely.
Right? So my thoughts on the story, there was a couple parts of it. The story overall was all right. Like, I agree with Gary on it was a character development story that really was great, and it wasn't just with Linda Carter with Wonder Woman. It was with Maxwell Lord. He went from being this greedy, need everything, I want to take over everything, to being a father again. So that was great. The holes. Okay, here's two of my biggest issues with the story in general. Okay, so Steve is a pilot from 1917. He comes back. They're at the airport. They're looking through these planes. They get in this jet from like 1980 something. I'm not a pilot. I'm definitely not a pilot. But I know if I'm a pilot from 1917, I am not going to be able to get into a jet and be like, oh, let's pick it right up. I was totally expecting in the story when he's trying to pick a jet that they were going to be shown flying in some rickety old bucket from 1917 and take forever to get to Cairo. But that did not happen. Instead, he got in the jet and was just like,
before.
Here we go.
Oh, this.
That was a big issue for me. It wasn't a huge issue. I just thought it was hilarious. Just like the whole fireworks scene. Okay, again, I'm not a jet pilot, but if you're flying through some fireworks in a jet, I don't think you're really going to have time to be like, wow, look at those fireworks. Wow, like in slow-mo, that was a little ridiculous. I get it when you're flying over them, seeing the lights from the clouds, that was cool. That was over the top.
I thought so as well on that part, Jason. I'm like, wow, they are really in these fireworks a long time for traveling at Mach 1 or whatever they're traveling.
I also thought the taking your wish back thing was kind of lame. That saved the day. I don't know. That to me, I was going, that part didn't work that well for me. But yeah, the pilot thing, that actually makes sense. I didn't think about that actually, but that's
and that
you're
seems
right.
to be like a common trope with most of the superhero movies. Even Marvel's guilty of it. You have the one tropey thing that instantly erases everything. And then you have these superhero movies got to get away from too many villains.
They
You
tried
could have
throwing.
Maxwell Lord in this one. You could have done Cheetah in the next one.
Mhm.
I
You
totally
could have
agree.
shown Cheetah getting her. I'm sorry. You could have shown Cheetah getting her powers at the end of this movie, setting up the third movie, and it could have been an all-out battle in that one. Again, these superhero movies sometimes, and I don't know if this is the script or the production company, the getting in the way of it, the producers, but you don't need to have 2, 3, 4, 5 villains in every superhero movie.
No, I think it's better personally with just one, because then you get to know that character or that villain a little bit more. And Taylor Winder made another great point about the jets that I didn't even think of. But then again, we're not jet pilots, but I don't think jets have side by side seating, so it's not like a love seat in a jet as you're flying. I think it's front
Taylor,
to back.
all the romantic jets do. You just haven't been in a
That's right.
romance
Yeah, you haven't
jet.
flown the right jet slot.
Yeah,
All right.
Taylor.
All
Quit
right,
flying those solo jets, Taylor.
all right. DJ Lynx's favorite category, I'm sure. We're gonna go to editing. We're gonna go to you, Jimmy.
I mean, I don't have a whole lot to say about it. I thought it was great. I mean, I thought the movie, as far the action sequences were really cool. When they, turned the jet invisible, I thought that was cool. As far as I thought the movie was well done. I mean, I thought as far as the scenery and the way that the action flowed, I thought was good. I mean, like I don't really have any complaints with that. I mean, the 80s background is something I know very well, and I thought they did a good job kind of, portraying the 80s. Sometimes it was a little overboard or maybe a little cheesy, but I still kind of dug it because I like it. But editing-wise, I thought, in the days of, you try to do that movie 40 years ago or even 20 years ago, you're going to know that Wonder Woman can actually sling from a lightning bolt. But when she does it in this movie, it looked legit. Like it looks awesome. And she was flying. I thought it looked cool the way they did it. And I thought the editing was great.
All right. Gary B.
Oh, yeah. So when I'm thinking about editing, I'm thinking about scene transition and being able to follow the action and being able to read the story through the scene. I thought the editing was really good. I can't stand an action movie where it's all quick cuts and you don't know what's happening. Everything in this movie, I mean, it was great. From her reactions to Steve, especially with the dressing scene, was great. I thought the mall scene was edited really well with her action with the lasso and the little girl, and just everything flowed well. And I think where the editing showed its strength was in that highway scene. There was so much going on in that highway scene, and you never lost track of what was happening.
Yep.
The action flowed smooth. It was never a distraction. You always knew where Wonder Woman was. You always knew what the focal point of that scene was, and you always knew where it was headed. And so that part was just really good. So yeah, overall, I think the editing was an A+.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the editing in this movie compared to like the Justice League movie, that was way better. I mean, I felt like it could have been better, but in the time that we live in right now, with people working from home and not being able to, I don't know if full potential is the right way to say it, but it could have been a little better. But I mean, I didn't think there was like no big holes or anything in it. There was nothing with the editing, the whole movie, where I was like, oh, it should have been edited better there. I thought overall, all the scenes, were edited well. Like like you said, the mall scene, or the very beginning scene where she's young Wonder Woman. That whole scene there was fantastic. It's probably
that was awesome.
That is probably my favorite scene.
And how great is that little girl that plays her young?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Like, she has the fiercest in her eyes at that age. She was amazing.
Yeah. Yep, she was mad too when she lost, huh?
Yeah,
She was mad. Yeah. So overall, the editing, I mean, I think it was great.
And I like in the editing too the way they showed her landing all the time, soft and gentle, like she does in the comics, because she does have flight powers in the comics, and just to see her float down and always that soft touchdown, I thought just showed the elegance of the character.
Taylor Winder, you ruined it for me already. Our next category is soundtrack, and I couldn't agree with Taylor Winder's comment more right here.
Yeah.
I mean, the title of the movie is Wonder Woman 1984. You don't have any 80s music in the movie.
Wasn't the whole thing basically Hans Zimmer? Like a Hans Zimmer soundtrack? Like, look, from soundtrack standpoint, it was fine. There are some movies that you will notice like Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy, the soundtrack for makes that movie. It makes that movie that much better. I didn't really notice the soundtrack outside of this. Wonder Woman's song, like when the action starts, that is the best, to me anyway, best hands down music to go with a superhero character's action sequence, that song. Outside of that, honestly, I never really even noticed the music. So, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, because there's a lot of movies like they tried to do the same thing in Suicide Squad that they did in Guardians of the Galaxy with the soundtrack. It just didn't work as well. The way that it worked in Guardians of the Galaxy was so cool, and it really enhanced the movie. But as far as the soundtrack for Wonder Woman, I honestly didn't even notice it outside of, the 80s songs. I think I would have definitely noticed that if there was some, cool 80s music in it. But was there even like an actual song, like a song that we would know, or was it more just kind of like, an orchestra type,
There was. That's the thing. That's to me, growing up as a kid, I mean, you guys got to remember this. I know DJ Link knows what I'm talking about. When movies came out, the soundtracks were badass. Like, you went to go get those tapes or those CDs, or I know younger people don't know what tapes or CDs are probably, but you went to go get those soundtracks. Soundtracks were a big thing to me, and movies should have a soundtrack. Should at least, I mean, if the movie's called Wonder Woman 1984, there should be some killer 80s rock music, hip hop, some 80s music to build it up a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was the biggest flaw in the movie for me. But I like music. I like, to be back in the 80s, that's one of the biggest. When you think 80s, you think of the hair and you think of the music, right?
Yep.
And
I agree.
So I agree with Jimmy on this. The music was so minimal, it never stood out, that I couldn't have told you anything that played during the whole movie. And there's lots of iconic 80s tunes. The only music I ever noticed was the Wonder Woman theme when it kicked in. I didn't notice any other music. I mean, I was waiting for some old Motley Crue, maybe some New Shoes, some classic 80s stuff,
See, at least you were waiting for it. There you go. Right. That's what I mean.
They could have did some Berlin. They could have did so many different 80s stuff that would have been great, especially in the mall scene and all that. But that was I thought the score and the music was the weakest part too, because you, Jimmy, I didn't notice it.
I didn't even notice it.
The only part I noticed was her theme, and that they even muted that down. It wasn't as powerful as it was in the first one. Yeah. And I don't know about you guys, but I have that on my playlist. I have Tina Gal playing that, and she does. I don't know if you've actually listened to Tina Gal play that. It's amazing. And if you haven't watched her on her YouTube channel play it, you're missing out. She's an amazing talent, probably one of the best cellists in the world, bar none. Absolutely amazing talent. And her playing that Hans Zimmer theme is incredible.
Slot, listen to Gary B knowing cellist. He's kind of high class. I didn't realize Gary B was so high class.
He drinks his tea.
Get to know me, Jimmy.
Yeah. Well, he had picked that coffee up a second ago, and I saw the pinky kick up, and I was like, "What is that? I'd never noticed that before."
1% class over here.
Yeah. So we all agree, at least on this one category, they dropped the ball on the music.
Right? Yeah, I think we can all give this one a solid. Meh.
Okay, there we go. So our next category, I got my little notes up there, so I look a little professional, is our action scenes. Go ahead, Jimmy. Take the ball there.
I thought all the action scenes were great. Like the fight scene at the end with Cheetah, I actually wanted it to be longer. It was really cool. And I wanted it to be drawn out, and because it was neat. And then really the other action sequences, like the one Gary B was talking about in the desert, where they were trying to catch Maxwell Lord, and she was going in between the vehicles, and Steve was trying to, like her swooping down and saving the kids, right? Like all that stuff, I thought was really cool. I thought it looked great. At the end, when she was flying, it kind of reminded me of the old Superman movies. As he at the end of the movie, as he flies, goes to around the earth and flies around, like that's kind of what she was doing. I thought that part of it was really cool. I thought the action sequences were strong. It was probably the best part of the movie overall. I just wish that the cheetah scene at the end when they fought would have been more extended, because when she became cheetah and they really started going at it, that was cool. And I just wanted to see that a little more, because that was really the biggest fight scene in the movie, and they cut it off really short.
All right, Gary.
Action, right? I really thought the action was done well too. Although I did wonder how those people, when that wall went up, got out of that car and got to safety. But the action was great, and just iconic Wonder Woman imagery. Like I said, I'll keep going back to that one scene on that highway chase scene. It was just amazing set piece action. Her kicking the tire out, her taking the bullet, starting to show that she's weakening, and just showing the heart of Wonder Woman in those scenes. Even when she thought she was going to get hit by that truck, she was still protecting those kids, and they showed it clearly. They showed it well, and the action was great. When she flipped that truck, and you just saw her jump up in the air, up and over it, and she landed on the thing. And but I was waiting for when she landed on his car to just completely obliterate it. But I thought the action was great, and like you, Jimmy, I thought the cheetah scene was fantastic. But we wanted that cheetah scene half an hour earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
And we wanted that to be longer. We wanted that to be more of a conflict. And they were so busy telling the hero's journey with Diana that they cheated the cheetah. Mm-hmm. And the cheetah scene suffered because it didn't get the action it needed or the storytelling it needed, but the action was good. I did think the swinging on the power cables that the cheetah was doing was a little cornball, and the whole time you're waiting for her to get electrocuted, and she gets electrocuted. So,
yeah.
I'm like, they're hitting you in the face with it. Gonna electrocute her. But the scene was fun.
Because I thought that relationship with her and, with Wonder Woman and Barbara could have been really explored upon as well, because they were really good friends, right? In the comic books, they were close, and they weren't really that close in the movie. Like, I just thought all that could have really been, dealt with, kind of Captain America and, Winter Soldier and Bucky, kind of really take that story from that angle. That might be stupid, but that's what I was kind of thinking when I saw it. So,
yeah, the action I thought was there. It showed up. I don't know. There was the action scenes that were there were good. I just think there wasn't enough of them. I think there was just not enough action in it for me. It was like the highway scene was great. The cheetah scene was okay. It could have been longer, like you guys said, and they made it too cheesy for me. Like, like Gary said, the swinging around on the electric lines and stuff, and then she got shocked anyway. I mean, so you can just swing around on a broken line and not get shocked holding the end of it like she was, and then it just.
But that's not how a cheetah would fight either.
No, absolutely not. A cheetah would, it's an apex predator. It's gonna come out of the darkness, and it's not going to be doing flips and stuff. And it's not a.
And a lot of the fight was her darting around, like a cat would. I mean, that's what was good about it. And then until she started doing all that other stuff.
Yeah, they tried to do too much. I think they tried to add too many little extra bells and whistles to it, and left out the actual, the action scenes that were really good, and they lacked on that.
And that was too bad for the actors, because the actors were doing their job. The actors were fine. It's just the scenes didn't do them any favors.
Honestly, my favorite action scenes were where Steve was getting his legs in.
Yeah.
He was getting his legs in here and there.
Oh, when she was using the lasso in that hallway, and he's just bonking the guy with the server tray. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I like the comical action scene. So the action was there. It wasn't like, like I said, it wasn't like Wonder Woman 1 action or Justice League action or anything. I mean, even Justice League action wasn't the greatest, but there was a lot more of it. It wasn't edited worth of crap, but it was there. Although I'm looking forward to Snyder's cut. But all right, there's two more. So next one is just the overall watchability, and was it easy for you to watch and enjoy? Go ahead, Jimmy.
It was easy for me to watch. I mean, like I said, I'm no movie critic, right? When I'm watching a superhero movie, I'm not necessarily. It's what made the first Wonder Woman movie so good. Was I didn't really expect it, and then it just smacks you in the face. The whole story, like I told you guys earlier, it's basically a war movie with Wonder Woman in it. The origin story of Wonder Woman, and it just even the action scenes, like when she goes into the party. With the German soldiers, and she has that sword down the back of her dress, right? That's not like a high impact action scene, but it was intense. And this movie lacked that. It didn't have that part of it. So as far as watchability, it was fine. It started out slow, and like I told you guys, I got lost in it for a couple hours and didn't have to think about everything else, and it did its job for me. So it was fine. Like I said, was it as good as the first one? No, but it was still good. I thought the movie was fine. Wasn't great, but it was a good watch, and I enjoyed it. And I thought it did some nice things to set up, because I think they just greenlit, the third one.
They did.
And I think you're going to get to see, maybe what we wanted to see with Barbara. You're going to get to see that maybe in the third one. And so, yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good addition. It's one that if the next one's really good, will probably be forgotten. But overall, I dug the '80s vibe. Like we just said, the music, if it would have been there, would have been great. But overall, I liked the movie fine. I didn't get done watching it and be like, oh my God, it's the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm just not that critical. I'm not that. I don't take it that serious, I guess is what I should say. It's fun and it's entertainment for me. And I was entertained, and I thought it was fun. So,
all right, hold on. Let's go ahead and go over to the Wonder Woman fanboy over here, Gary B. Oh,
who would have thought I'd be the one defending DC more than you? I know. And I don't even read DC, right?
I know. Every time he gets a DC book, he's like a Jason, a Jimmy, a Jason, a Jimmy.
Right. So we're talking. Overall watchability. Yep. I watched it twice already. I'm going to watch it a third time. I really enjoy it, but it's because I enjoy the actors that are in it. I really enjoy Chris Pine as an actor. I really enjoy Gal Gadot as an actor. I really enjoy these people in their roles, and I enjoy their interaction with each other. I think they got great chemistry, and they're easy for me to watch. And I'm not the type of person where every movie I watch has to be A-level. I can enjoy something for what it is. I do wish this soundtrack kicked you in the butt a little bit more. I wanted like Flash Gordon level soundtrack where it was like just in your face the whole time with 80s and just pumping you up and getting you excited. But it was the anti-Flash Gordon where the soundtrack wasn't there. But overall watchability, I enjoyed it. I got a great kick out of seeing Linda Carter in it. She was the eyes in the one scene, then she was in the mid-credit scene. I'm a 50-year-old man. I grew up on Linda Carter Wonder Woman. And just for them to pay the respects to have her in it was amazing. And to see her as Arathea was great. And I'm going to watch it a lot more times. There is something easy about watching Gal Gadot and Chris Pine acting together. And, even people who hate on the new Star Trek movies, I can watch those over and over again. And I'm not a Star Trek guy, but I enjoy Chris Pine's acting them as Captain Kirk. I enjoy, the guy who plays, now I'm going to forget a name, and he's a great actor. The guy in The Boys, he's awesome. Who played Scotty. The guy's in everything. Every time you put him in something, he's amazing.
Please put up T. Ravis's comment right now. That's right. Right there.
There you go. Wouldn't that have been great?
Kill 'em
No,
all.
she needed some Motley Crue.
Motley Crue would have been good. I
But,
saw Janie's crying. Somebody said Janie's crying earlier. That would have been perfect.
Or some Kiss. Get some Kiss.
Kiss would have been good too, but T. Ravis, that's why we're pals right there.
There you
But
go.
overall watchability, yeah, I'll watch it over. It's a good light flick that I can always have on in the background, watch and enjoy. And Gal Gadot adds enough to the role where as long as she's on screen, I'm enjoying it. And anytime her and Chris Pine are on there together, I'm having fun with it. Those two just have great chemistry. Her husband and his wife must be at home going, those sons of bitches, they get along too well in that movie. But no, they're great. So I find them infinitely watchable, those two together.
I agree with you on the Pine and Star Trek. I thought he killed Captain Kirk, but that's a whole other review. That's a whole different review.
And Horrible Bosses. He was great in Horrible Bosses too. He's my favorite character in that movie.
As far as watchability of this movie, I liked it. I did like it. Not gonna lie, there's a couple times where I paused the movie to get up and go grab a snack or something to drink. Or most movies that I'm like super into, there is no pausing the movie. If I have to pee, I'm peeing at the end of the movie. It didn't keep my attention that much. Like the whole beginning of it was really slow. I mean, I knew it was going to get better. I'm the complete opposite of Jimmy, actually. Jimmy said like he wasn't expecting a first great Wonder Woman, and he was blown away. I had such high expectations of this movie because of the first Wonder Woman. I felt a little let down, but it was am I gonna watch it again? I was honestly thinking about watching again before this review just so I could be fresh for whatever reason, but I couldn't force myself to watch it again. So watchability, maybe it's not one of those movies I'm probably gonna watch again, honestly. So there, yeah. Wah, I know. Sorry to bring down the mood, guys, but it was good. It didn't meet the expectations I had, and that's probably my fault for setting such high expectations. But
I think it's a classic case of they try to do too much with the second movies, and so many superhero movies fall into that trope. Oh, we got to go bigger. You got to go bigger. No, you just have to tell another good story. You don't always have to go bigger. You just have to tell another good story.
Yeah.
Why is it that? Let me ask you this question: why is it that DC, like Marvel, is really good at that? Like the first Captain America movie was awesome. The second Captain America movie was better, and then the third one, Civil War.
More people would disagree with you.
Oh, Winter Soldier is probably my favorite Marvel movie of all time. Like I freaking love that movie. Oh, I love that movie. But all the Marvel movies seem to build upon one another. You didn't have the huge letdown, and then DC's animated stuff is so good. Their TV stuff is so good, and I don't understand why they couldn't. Because Wonder Woman, man, that first one was so freaking good. Like I said, I was blown away. And I had high expectations for this one too. And was I a little disappointed? Probably. But at the end of the day, I still thought it was pretty good. But I don't understand what DC's problem is when it comes to these movies, because it's kind of hit or miss. Aquaman was awesome. The first Wonder Woman was awesome. As much as I love Superman, Man of Steel was just okay. Batman versus Superman wasn't great. Justice League wasn't great, even though I'll watch it every time it comes on just because I like that kind of stuff. And I'm looking forward to the Snyder Cut because I think there's so much more in it. But I just wonder what the difference is, why their animated stuff is so good, but it just doesn't translate to the movies.
Yeah, DC animation is hands down the best superhero movies animation-wise you'll ever find, I think.
And you were touching on Superman. I think the same thing with that. I didn't care for Man of Steel, but I really like Henry Cavill as Superman. There's an actor who's doing great as Superman, and he's got the range to play the Superman, the Boy Scout Superman that everybody wants him to be, and they just don't give it to him. They try to make him too dark, and that's not Superman's character. And that's a case of me of them not understanding their own character as well as they should when they're putting him on the screen. I will disagree with you. You know me, I'm a total Marvel guy. But there was a lot of weak second films in the Marvel universe. A lot of people thought that the second Guardians wasn't as good, although I really liked it. A lot of people didn't like Iron Man 2 that much. I especially love the Black Widow in that movie. A lot of people had issues with Thor 2.
I think DC makes too much. They try to be too serious with their movies, which they don't have any. None of the DC movies are really that funny. There's not a lot of. They tried to be funny in the Justice League, but they failed miserably at that.
Well, yeah. they got the wrong person to finish it. All right, just because he did Avengers doesn't mean you bring Joss Whedon in and give the DC universe the Josh Whedon humor. All right, it doesn't fit the characters. There's nothing wrong with them having more serious movies if that's what their characters are. The thing with me is the people who are making the movies don't seem to understand their characters as well as the people who are making the Marvel movies. And that just might come down to them not having a figurehead like Kevin Feige who oversees it all.
Yeah. It's like you said, it's not understanding the characters is a big part of it. Marvel's got it down. DC, one of these days, let's hope that they'll figure it out. I mean, like the Batman movies, granted, I don't like the George Clooney Batman. I am embarrassed to even call that a Batman movie, honestly. But DC movies haven't been the greatest. Let's be honest. So
Taylor Winder, I agree with you. People are making fun of Pattinson because he was in those shiny vampire movies. That's not the only thing the dude's done. The dude has been a solid actor in a lot of movies and very serious roles. And if you're going to judge him on one franchise that he was in because it wasn't marketed towards you, you're doing yourself a disservice by not giving someone who's a good actor a serious shot at a movie. Just like everyone bitched about Michael Keaton playing Batman, and he knocked it out of the park. All right, everyone bitched about Heath Ledger being the Joker. He knocked it out of the park. Pattinson's going to do the same thing as Bruce Wayne and Batman. The guy's got acting chops and he's great, but everyone just wants to focus on the one movie franchise they don't like from him, and you haven't watched him in anything else. It just doesn't make sense to me when people do that.
Well, we don't like those movies. People make fun of what we don't.
The Twilight movies that he was in.
That we don't like those. I've watched those with my daughters like 1,000 times.
But why are you going to judge a person on one franchise?
You didn't know that?
Oh, I've always been Team Jacob.
Like how many people didn't think Heath Ledger would be a good Joker because he did comedies and he did Brokeback Mountain? Oh, that guy can't do it. He's an actor. He played his parts in all those movies. He can play his part in this. The actor's different in every movie. You can't judge them until you see them play the role.
Yeah, I agree with Taylor.
Let them prove themselves first or disprove themselves.
I think the Suicide Squad will be fun. Gunn Suicide.
I do too, Taylor. Yeah, Taylor, I saw that, and I think that's going to be awesome because Gunn's great, man. I mean, he did a great job with Guardians. I said, I hope he can do the same thing with Suicide Squad.
Yeah. So let's get into the verdict. On a scale of, let's say, 1 to 10, Jimmy, what do you give this movie?
Probably a 6.5. 6.5, 7. For me. The first one, like I said, and that's the if you could take the first one out of the equation and look at this as a standalone movie, but it's so hard not to compare it to the first one because the first one was so good. Like the first one for me is a straight 10. Like I thought it was. I love it, and this one, like I said, it paled in comparison, but I still liked it. So I'd probably give it a 6.5, 7, something like that.
All right. Gary, 10?
No, I'll give it a 7. Like I said, the hero's journey really worked for me, but there was a lot of other aspects which you can't overlook. But overall, I'll give it a 7 out of 10, where I give the first one a 9 out of 10. The first one, I still thought the villain lacked a little bit. But up until that last 10 minutes of the first one, I thought it was great. I thought the end scene of the first one lacked a little bit. But man, that scene in the first one when she's going across the battlefield, it can't help but get you amped up.
Right.
But this one I'll give a 7.
I'm really, I thought I was going to be, way, way further away from you guys than I am. I'm going to give it a 6. you know, it's a superhero movie, and we all love superheroes. So I mean, it didn't suck. I mean, I guess there's a lot of people out there that thought the movie was just horrible. I mean, well, I said I probably won't watch it again, but that's probably a lie. I'll probably watch it at least one more time, but that'll probably be it. But it wasn't horrible. But like, Jimmy said about the first one, if you could take it out of the picture, it would get a higher rating for me. But the first one was so good, and I disagree with the villain, Ares, the god of war. I mean, it doesn't get much more of a better villain than that, I don't think. But
well, and even though in that movie, though, I almost felt like Ares was secondary because it was more about Diana becoming Wonder Woman, and
right.
and that was what the story, and her in that blue dress with that freaking sword down her back. Wow, I mean, like still to this day, I mean, that was just so, yeah.
Taking out those soldiers, that was a great scene.
Is every superhero movie that's come out this year is a 10 compared to the Harley Quinn movie. That thing was hot garbage. The Birds of Prey. I had to struggle through that movie. It was so bad. Just to finish it, to say I finished it. Oh, they ruined every character in that film.
Is DJ Links asking if Maxwell Lord was greater than Heath Ledger's Joker? Is that what you're asking, DJ?
I think he might be stating it. I don't know if he's asking.
Because actually, if you think about what the kind of the arc of Maxwell Lord and what a good job he did, I mean, like that was a great acting job that he did.
Was.
Heath Ledger's Joker, though, I mean, he transformed like into a madman. And so for me, Heath Ledger's Joker was probably better, but the Maxwell Lord character was well done. Like, I mean, the guy playing the part did a great job.
You just got trolled by Mr. Links. He was just playing.
I'm trolling. Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, it was
Maxwell
good.
Lord was great, but
yeah,
let's be real here. Heath
but
Ledger.
Everyone expected him to be. Nobody gave up. Pedro Pascal pass, knowing he was going to knock it out of the park, and nobody was giving Heath Ledger a pass. Everybody was knocking on him.
No,
and that's what I think made his performance stand out even more.
If you're a superhero fan, you should watch Wonder Woman. Honestly, you should watch it. You owe it that respect as a superhero fan. You definitely should watch it. You probably are not going to be like, "Oh, it's the greatest superhero movie ever," but it's worth your watch for sure.
Yeah, I agree because he totally transformed. Like he became the Joker. Like, I mean, it was, and you're right. It probably led into his death. I mean, that was one of the, as far as the portrayal of a character, that was so sick.
Yep. And while we got all of us here, we all got to make sure to let everyone, remind everyone about Taylor's and DJ's 500 subscriber giveaway Saturday. Make sure you guys are there for that, because the way to win is to be there. And of course you want to be there. Just want to see all the great prizes that I'm not going to win.
Right? I'm going to tune in just to see how Taylor makes it so he wins his own prizes.
Well, here's the thing. I'm hoping, I don't know if Taylor's noticed this yet, but I'm hoping that he doesn't go, like, where it says basically take out the same user if they, commented. Every time someone has posted #rigged in my videos, I'll leave a comment back to them. You're right. Life is #rigged. So I got #rigged in all those comments. So Taylor, make sure you don't allow that, because then it would be #rigged for sure.
Oh, Taylor, I'm showing up just so you can't keep everything.
Yeah, I'll be there with you.
Yeah, no, that ain't happening.
So, guys, there you have it. That's our review on 1984. I don't really have much else to chime in with. I got some boxes to unbox. I'm actually still waiting on my second box from Adrian APM to get here. It's somewhere in Mexico, probably at this rate, during the sunshine.
And anyone in the crowd, if there's a movie you'd like us all to get together and review again, leave us a comment down there. Let us know what you'd like our opinion on. I don't know about you guys, but I had a blast doing this.
Yeah, that's another thing. I thought about, I don't know I mean, we have to get with Jimmy's agent. That's a hassle in itself, getting hold of that agent. But I would like to do, even if it's once every other week, once a month, I don't know, but I would like to watch a superhero movie and review it one time a week. So I think, like I said, I had a blast doing this, and I think it would be a lot of fun. I think,
I got one for you guys that I don't think either one of you have watched. And that's I forget the name as soon as I go to talk about it. Help me out, crowd. The one where the kid was like the bad Superman growing up.
I don't know that one.
Xavier, what was that movie you and I watched with the kid with Elizabeth Banks? Remember, he was like a bad Superman growing up. Brightburn. Thank you. Had to go to my boy for it. Brightburn is a great movie. It's kind of a horror base. Like if Superman was bad from the start, Elizabeth Banks is great in it. And this movie's dark. Don't watch it around your kids. I made that mistake thinking it was going to be something he could watch. I had to cover his eyes a few times because the violence was so brutal. Brightburn. Thank you guys. Brightburn is great. And if you two haven't seen it, I'd love for you two to watch it and for us to review it.
I'd do that. I haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen it either. We can do that.
It is. What do you guys think? Brightburn, guys? In the comments? Yeah, everyone's saying Brightburn.
I like Comic Hunter says Brightburn is disturbing. I like disturbing movies.
It's good. And Jimmy, I think you'll really get something out of it because it's the opposite path of Superman. It's what if he didn't turn out to be super?
Sounds good. There we go. That'll be the next Usual Suspect movie review. Then we'll do that. We'll watch that.
Slot, I do want to promote the 10 Questions episode that's coming up this week. I sat down with Alan May, and most of us know Alan. That is he is an interesting dude. Like he does all kinds of different things, from the music business to the resale game, and he talks about his childhood growing up. I had a great time talking to Alan. Like, it was so good to get to know him a little bit better. He's a different kind of cat, and it was really interesting. Like, I think that, I think everybody will dig that one. So that'll be out on Thursday. I forget what time I said it to post, but I'll make a post on Instagram later in the week. But yeah, definitely check out Alan. And then I've got two, I haven't told you two yet. I'll tell you after we get off. I've got two really big ones coming up. So, it'll be, keep watching Small Town for the 10 questions. So, but check out Alan this week. It's really good.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. That's another mystery box. I'm glad you brought that up. Alan May has mystery boxes as well. I don't want to call the price on them because I'm not very good at remembering prices on mystery boxes, but I want to say it's $50-ish.
Lasso, I saw that movie.
DJ Link said Slot is going to say Brightburn is an uplifting film.
You're probably right. Inspiring story. So there you have it, guys. So we'll get together. We'll figure out a time to review it. We'll watch it. It's the holidays coming up. Hope everyone's going to have a safe, and fun, exciting New Year's. Going into a 2021 after a crap of 2020 year, right? But for me, slot it up, comic book world.
Keep it casual.
Until next time.
All right, guys.